سيدنا محمد عدد حلمك، وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما أحصاه اللوح المحفوظ من علمك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما جرى به القلم في الكتاب عندك. وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء سماواتك. وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء أرضك. وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء ما أنت خالقه من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد صفوف الملائكة وتسبيحهم وتقديسهم وتحميدهم وتمجيدهم وتكبيرهم وتهليلهم من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد السحاب الجارية والرياح الزارية من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد كل قطرة تقطر من سماواتك إلى أرضك وما تقطر إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما هبت الرياح وعدد ما تحركت الأشجار والأوراق والزروع وجميع ما خلقت في قرار الحفظ من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد القطر والمطر والنبات من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد النجوم في السماء من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت في بحارك السبعة مما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت وما أنت خالقه إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد الرمل والحصى في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت من الجن والإنس وما أنت خالقه إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد أنفاسهم وألفاظهم وألحاظهم من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد طيران الجن والملائكة من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد الطيور والهوام وعدد الوحوش والآكام في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد الأحياء والأموات. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما أظلم عليه الليل وأشرق عليه النهار من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد
مولانا جلال الدين الرومي مولانا جلال الدين خالد البغدادي صاحب الزمان قبلة الإسلام شيخ مولانا محمد ناظم عادل الحقاني صاحب السيف شيخ عبد الكريم الكبسي الرباني قدس الله وسارهم حاضرات أرواحهم خادم الحرمين الشريفين ياوز سلطان سليم خان أبو الفتح والمغازي فاتح سلطان محمد خان وسردار خاقان سلطان عبد الحميد خان جنة مكان فردوسي عاشيان حاضرات الأرواح وعون عنايتنا على الخصوص bu caminin bayinisi ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş İmam Muazzin Kayyim ve cemaatin ve kâfe ehli iman ervahı için Allah rızası için El Fatiha.
Allahümme salli ala
Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله أكبر
ولا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله سيدنا محمد الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين نحمد الله تعالى ونستغفر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له نشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده وحبيبه ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأزواجه وأصحاب التابعين خلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعده وزائمة على تحقيق وخصوصا منهم على الأميت خلفاء رسول على تحقيق أمراء المؤمنين حضرات أبو بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعلى باقي أصحاب التابعين رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين يا أيها المؤمنون الحاضرون اتقوا الله تعالى وإن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praises are due to Allah, the Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah who says in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Hajj, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and struggle for Allah with a struggle that is true. He has chosen you and has not placed upon you any difficulty in the religion. It is the faith of your father Ibrahim. He has named you Muslims of all times. And in this revelation, that the messenger may be a witness over you, and that you may be witnesses over mankind. So establish salat and pay the zakat and hold fast to Allah. He is your Mawla, the best Mawla and the best helper. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. May peace and blessings be upon the Sultan of the Messengers, Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. The Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam said, no servant makes salawats upon me except that an angel goes up with those salawats presenting them before Allah. Our Lord then orders, take these salawats to the tomb of my servant, who shall ask for forgiveness on the behalf of the one who has made them, and who shall be pleased with this. On Judgment Day, a certain believer will have too few good deeds. Rasulullah ﷺ will place a small piece of paper the size of a fingertip on the scales, causing the side of the good deeds to become heavy. The believer will say, may my parents be sacrificed for you. Who are you? How beautiful your appearance, how beautiful your character. And Rasulullah ﷺ will reply, I am your prophet. And these are the salawats you sent me. I have paid you back in your time of need. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin, Nabil Ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. May peace and blessings be upon him and upon his noble family, his blessed companions, especially upon the four Khulafa Rashidin, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar Faruq, Hazrat Osman al-Ghani and Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. May peace and blessings be upon the Mashayikh of the Naqshbandi way, the inheritors of the Holy Prophet. May peace and blessings be upon the Ottoman Sultans, the protectors of the Ummah. May Allah love those who love them. May Allah curse those who hate them. May Allah raise us with them on Judgment Day. Amin, inshallah. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, welcome to you and to me on this first Jummah of the month of Shawwal. Alhamdulillah, that yesterday we continued the tradition of our Holy Prophet ﷺ, and we celebrated the day of Eid al-Fitr, showing our thanks to our Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, through the mercy of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and the favor of the awliya Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be happy with our Eid and will accept us as His good servants. The calendar days of Ramadan, they have ended. But the spirit of struggle in the month of Ramadan should not end here. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is giving a big sign of this in his Hadith Sharif when he said, whoever fasts the month of Ramadan and then follows it with 6 days of fasting in the month of Shawwal, it will be as if he fasted for the entire year. Sahib al-Saif, Qadaslah Sir, is saying about this hadith, I'm watching that so many times people are not fasting these 6 days. If we make up these 6 days, then it is a big reward for us, inshallah Rahman. That the things that we have missed during the Ramadan time, it will be covered up and we will be rewarded for that, inshallah Rahman. We will be rewarded just because we are trying to follow the sunnah of Rasulullah alayhi wasallam. Inshallah, we will be able to keep the sunnah of a holy prophet. What is the fasting of Shawwal showing to us? It is showing that we cannot drop the spirit of Ramadan, but it is also showing the extreme mercy of our Lord, knowing that we cannot continue the spirit of Ramadan, but at least for 6 days in the month of Shawwal, we will get the same results and the same rewards as if we fasted for the whole year. The energy, the goodness, the benefit that we get from Ramadan, we cannot drop it. And it says, we must say, let me go back to how I was before, even if it's only for these 6 days in that month. The believer must always be moving forward. Sahib al-Saif is saying, what did we do yesterday? Did we live for Allah's sake, or we ran only for ourselves, for our ego? If we lived for Allah's sake, then definitely today has to be better than yesterday. Has to be. If you're living today for Allah's sake, then tomorrow must be better than today. It cannot be any other way, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, your ahir is better than what's before when you're holding tightly to the orders of Allah. Your end is better than what's before when you're holding tightly to the orders of Allah. Later, what it's bringing to you is even better. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, the believer who's keeping the orders of Allah and his Prophet, his today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow must be better than today. So alhamdulillah, that we are in this way of Sahib al-Saif. Because we did not just try to spend Ramadan in the way of Allah and His Prophet, but we are trying in the 3 holy months, Rajab, Sha'ban, and Ramadan. We are trying to be believers. Holy Prophet is putting a guarantee there. Shaykh Effendi is saying, that is a believer. This is what Holy Prophet is saying. Today must be better than yesterday, and tomorrow he's saying, he's talking for sure. Tomorrow, today, yesterday. Yesterday has passed, and today is in the process to finish. The Prophet ﷺ is saying, the believers today must be better than yesterday, and tomorrow has to be better than today. If we are running non-stop in the way of Allah, then yes, definitely. Our today will be better than yesterday. And our tomorrow, inshallah, will be better than today. But why? Because you are walking on the path of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and traveling in the caravan of the awliya Allah. In that caravan, it is bringing you to stations that will continue to revive and give energy to your faith. Ramadan finished. Next is coming to the 6 days of Shawwal to fast, to keep the spirit of Ramadan alive. Shawwal finished. Now you're preparing yourself for the month of Zulhijjah, the month of Hajj. Doing the Hajj and remembering our grandfather Ibrahim alayhi salam. And on the 10th day of the Hajj, for the Hajj to be accepted, a sacrifice, a qurban has to be made. And even for those who don't go on Hajj, they have to make a sacrifice on Eid al-Adha, reminding us of the sacrifice of Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam, reminding us that for those who want to be on the path of the beloveds of Allah, they must be prepared to sacrifice what they love the most. Zulhijjah finished. And now our caravan travels to the month of Muharram, the new year of Islam. And Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying about this month, the best of fasts after the month of Ramadan are in the month of Allah, which you call Muharram. And on the 10th of that month, we're reaching to the holy day of Ashura. Yes, in Ashura we remember, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the salvation that He gave to the big prophets like to Nuh alayhi salam and to Musa alayhi salam. But also in that day, we are finding a continuation from Qurban that is showing us the sacrifice that the Holy Prophet ﷺ made, that in the day of Ashura, his beloved grandson Hazrat Hussein radiallahu anh, and all of his family was sacrificed in the Maidan of Karbala. Remembering and understanding that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he gave the most beloved ones to him, the ones who climbed on his shoulders during sajda, he gave them in the way of Allah. And then from that holy day of Ashura, that caravan is continuing to the month of Rabiul Awal, to the celebration of the birth of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. That the light of guidance came into the world physically. And on the 12th of Rabiul Awal, and when we stop in Rabiul Awal, it is a celebration for the believers that we again are rejoicing at the coming of Rahmatul Lil Alameen. From Rabiul Awal we travel into Rajab. The first holy night in Rajab is Ragaib Kandil, celebrating the night that the Nur of the Holy Prophet ﷺ came down to the earth. And then we come to Mi'raj, when his Nur went up to paradise, to Sidratul Muntaha and beyond. Then we travel into his month, Sha'ban Shahrun Nabi, and in that month, the Prophet ﷺ is gifting us the gift of Laylatul Barat, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives his servants for the sake of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And we enter back again into Ramadan, the month of the Ummah, the month when all that we planted throughout the year is harvested, and that month ends with Eid al-Fitr, which we went through yesterday, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the prize to those who kept all those days and nights holy throughout the year. And then we come to today, where we make the intention to continue and to become better. Yes, inshallah, when we live like that, our today is definitely going to be better than yesterday, and our tomorrow is definitely going to be better than today. When we understand the calendar of Islam like that, when we understand that we are every year supposed to be learning more, supposed to be growing more, supposed to be going higher and higher, then we understand why Shaykh Effendi put such heavy words to those who disrespect these holy days and nights. Sahibul Saif, Colonel Asir said, week after week, year after year, I'm saying, Shaykh Maulana is saying, and we are going to say, the holy days and the holy nights are approaching. In these nights, take it seriously. Take it seriously. It's only 5 nights a year, not 10. There are 365 days in a year, and there are only 5 nights that are very holy. You cannot keep up with that? What kind of faith do you have then? Where is your faith? Are you going to give me excuses? Give me 1 million excuses, but it is not good for anything. No excuses can pass for that for a believer. If a believer says, I have an excuse, in 365 days I cannot save 5 days for Allah and His Prophet, then I have doubt. Then I have doubt with your faith. We are not playing here. We are not here for a picnic. We are not here to have only good times and tea parties. We are here to worship, and those who does not want to worship, they have no place with me. They have a very short time. And the words of our Shaykh speak the truth. We are traveling together. Inshallah Rahman, with our Shaykh as our leader to the divine presence, inshallah. That caravan must stop at all of these holy days and nights to take lesson and to take benefit and to increase our faith. If we don't join in these days and nights, if we aren't traveling with the caravan, then we will have no energy to carry our faith. And we will be left behind. And in the open road, when a person is left traveling alone, he is in the greatest danger. You cannot reach the destination without traveling in that caravan. Shaykh Maulana is saying, therefore you ask for the divine presence. You want to reach the world of angels. Of course, you will find a caravan which goes to that world and join them. You will follow them. What did the great ones say? Certainly they wanted to be with them even in the back of the caravan. You can't go anywhere without finding the caravan. There is a caravan to the divine presence. The leaders of the caravan to the divine presence are the prophets. Alayhum salam. The leader of the prophets is our master, the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Then come his successors, the awliya Allah. Therefore, who looks for the caravan will find them. If you find one of them, you will join their caravan. By foot or by vehicle, you will reach where you're going. And the words of Sultan al-Awliya, they speak the truth. O believers, stay in the caravan. Stay in association. And be in the association with sincerity, with love, and with passion. Don't be here like a dead person. Because it is only love and passion that is going to save us in the end. As Shaykh Effendi is saying, once Holy Prophet ﷺ was giving khutbah, a person came and said, Ya Rasulullah, when is the day of judgment? He ﷺ said, O Bedouin, what have you done for the judgment day? The judgment day is a very long and hard day. What have you done for the judgment day? Never mind about when the judgment day is. Look at what you have done for the judgment day. What did you do? He says, Ya Rasulullah, I am a weak person. I keep the orders that you are saying. I pray 5 times a day. I know I am weak. I try to give zakat. I did this and I did that. But the most of it, the more important of it, is that I love you. The Prophet says, ﷺ, that should be enough for you. He said, I keep all those obligations that you are telling me, but I know that it's nothing, but I love you. The Prophet says to him, that's enough for you. So many people are coming and going, asking when the judgment day is. When Mahdi alayhi salam is coming. When is the great war coming? Those who believe in Mahdi alayhi salam. Now millions of Muslims don't believe in him. MashaAllah. Are you understanding the reality of that? And don't think that they are going to call you on the telephones from the other side of the road to tell you Mahdi just came. If you are not hearing from here when he calls, if you are not hearing from your heart, you may lose the caravan. Because at the same time, Dajjal is coming too. It is whatever you are busy with and whatever your heart is busy with. If you are busy 24 hours thinking to please your Lord, then don't worry, you'll be in safety. If you are busy pleasing others and trying and running to be a slave to this world, then there is a big question mark there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us, what are you? You are nothing. If it is not for your faith, your value is nothing in my presence. You know it and I know it. If it is not for our faith, then what is our value? So inshallah Rahman, we should make the intention to follow more strictly, more with love and patience. And we are going to be busy with Allah and His Prophet and running to please them. We must be busy running to the holy days and nights to increase our faith. And with that being busy in their way, inshallah Rahman, we will be in safety when Mahdi alayhi salam comes, and we won't get fooled by Dajjal. Because we will already be traveling in the caravan of the beloveds of Allah, no matter what happens to the world today. The skies may crack and the earth may be moved away, but if we are under the dome of the awliya Allah, we will find safety. We will travel when that caravan travels, and we'll stop when it stops. And inshallah, when it reaches its destination, we will get there all together. And we will be in the company of Allah's beloved ones. We're asking with the dua of Sultan al-Awliya, may Allah forgive us through these holy days. O Allah Almighty, send us a holy Sultan to take ourselves and to train whole nations, whole mankind, to make them clean for the day of resurrection, for the honor of the most honored one in the divinely presence, Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika la lahu al-mulku wa lahu kullu shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika la. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika la. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. Subhan qudusun wa bin rabbul malaikati. Subhan qudusun. Inna dina lillahi al-islam. Qam salah. Amin.
عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى جميع النبيين والمرسلين أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد نبيك عدد ما خلقته من قبل أن تكون السماء مبنية والأرض مدحية والجبال مرسية والبحار مجرأة والعيون منفجرة والأنهار منهمرة والشمس مضحية والقمر مضيئا والكواكب مستنيرة كنت حيث كنت لا يعلم أحد حيث كنت إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد حلمك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد علمك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كلماتك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد نعمتك وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء سماواتك وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء أرضك وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء عرشك وصل على سيدنا محمد زينة عرشك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما جرى به القلم في الكتاب وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت في 7 سماواتك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما أنت خالق خالق فيهن إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل قطرة قطرت من سماواتك إلى أرضك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد من يسبحك ويهللك ويكبرك ويعظمك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد أنفاسهم وألفاظهم، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل نسمة خلقتها فيهم من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد السحاب الجارية، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد الرياح الذارية من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما هبت عليه الرياح وحركته من الأغصان والأشجار والأوراق والثمار وجميع ما خلقت على أرضك وما بين سماواتك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد نجوم السماء من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد ملء أرضك مما حملت وأقلت من قدرتك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت في 7 بحارك مما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت وما أنت خالقه فيها إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ملء 7 بحارك، وصل على سيدنا محمد زنة 7 بحارك مما حملت وأقلت من قدرتك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد أمواج بحارك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد الرمل والحصى في مستقر الأرضين وسهلها وجبالها من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد اضطراب المياه العذبة والملحة من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقته على جديد أرضك في مستقر الأرضين شرقها وغربها سهلها وجبالها وأوديتها وطريقها وعامرها وغامرها إلى سائر ما خلقته عليها وما فيها ومدر وحجر من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي عدد نبات الأرض من قبلتها وشرقها وغربها وسهلها وجبالها وأوديتها وأشجارها وثمارها وأوراقها وزروعها وجميع ما يخرج من نباتها وبركاتها من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت من الجن والإنس والشياطين وما أنت خالقه منهم إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل شعرة في أبدانهم وفي وجوههم وعلى رؤوسهم منذ خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد خفقان الطير وطيران الجن والشياطين من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل بهيمة خلقتها على جديد أرضك من صغير أو كبير في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها من إنسها وجنها ومما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد خطاهم على وجه الأرض من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد من يصلي عليه، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد من لم يصل عليه، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد القطر والمطر والنبات، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل شيء. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد في الليل إذا يغشى، وصل على سيدنا محمد في النهار إذا تجلى، وصل على سيدنا محمد في الآخرة والأولى، وصل على سيدنا محمد شابا زكيا، وصل على سيدنا محمد كهلا مرضيا، وصل على سيدنا محمد منذ كان في المهد صبيا، وصل على سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الصلاة شيء. اللهم وأعط سيدنا محمدا المقام المحمود الذي وعدته، الذي إذا قال صدقته وإذا سأل أعطيته. اللهم وأعظم برهانه وشرف بنيانه وأبلج حجته وبين فضيلته. اللهم وتقبل شفاعته في أمته، واستعملنا بسنته، وتوفنا على ملته، واحشرنا في زمرته وتحت لوائه، واجعلنا من رفقائه، وأوردنا حوضه، واسقنا بكأسه، وانفعنا بمحبته. اللهم آمين. وأسألك بأسمائك التي دعوتك بها أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد عدد ما وصفت ومما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت، أن ترحمني وتتوب علي وتعافيني من جميع البلاء والبلوى، وأن تغفر لي وترحم المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات، وأن تغفر لعبدك المذنب الخاطئ الضعيف، وأن تتوب عليه إنك غفور رحيم. اللهم آمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم إني أسألك بحق ما حمل كرسيك من عظمتك وقدرتك وجلالك وبهائك وسلطانك، وبحق اسمك المخزون المكنون الذي سميت به نفسك وأنزلته في كتابك واستأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك، أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك. وأسألك باسمك الذي إذا دعيت به أجبت، وإذا سئلت به أعطيت. وأسألك باسمك الذي وضعته على الليل فأظلم، وعلى النهار فاستنار، وعلى السماوات فاستقلت، وعلى الأرض فاستقرت، وعلى الجبال فرست، وعلى الصعبة فذلت، وعلى ماء السماء فسكبت، وعلى ماء السحاب فأمطرت. وأسألك بما سألك به سيدنا محمد نبيك، وأسألك بما سألك به سيدنا آدم نبيك، وأسألك بما سألك به أنبياؤك ورسلك وملائكتك المقربون صلى الله عليهم أجمعين. وأسألك بما سألك به أهل طاعتك أجمعين أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت من قبل أن تكون السماء مبنية والأرض مطحية والجبال مرسية والعيون منفجرة والأنهار منهمرة والشمس مضحية والقمر مضيئا والكواكب منيرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد علمك، وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد حلمك، وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما أحصاه اللوح المحفوظ من علمك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما جرى به القلم في أم الكتاب عندك، وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء سماواتك، وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء أرضك، وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء ما أنت خالقه من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد صفوف الملائكة وتسبيحهم وتقديسهم وتحميدهم وتمجيدهم وتكبيرهم وتهليلهم من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد السحاب الجارية والرياح الزارية من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد كل قطرة تقطر من سماواتك إلى أرضك وما تقطر إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما هبت الرياح وعدد ما تحركت الأشجار والأوراق والزروع وجميع ما خلقت في قرار الحفظ من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد القطر والمطر والنبات من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد النجوم في السماء من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت في بحارك السبعة مما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت وما أنت خالقه إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد الرمل والحصى في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت من الجن والإنس وما أنت خالقه إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد أنفاسهم وألفاظهم وألحاظهم من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد طيران الجن والملائكة من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد الطيور والهوام وعدد عدد الوحوش والآكام في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد الأحياء والأموات. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما أظلم عليه الليل وأشرق عليه النهار من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد من يمشي على رجلين ومن يمشي على أربع من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد من صلى عليه من الجن والإنس والملائكة من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد من لم يصل عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما يجب أن يصلى عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما ينبغي أن يصلى عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى شيء من الصلاة عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وصل على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وأسألك اللهم بالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا آدم عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا نوح عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا هود عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إبراهيم عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا صالح عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يونس عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا أيوب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يعقوب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يوسف عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا موسى عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا هارون عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا شعيب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إسماعيل عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا داود عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا سليمان عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا زكريا عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يحيى عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا أرميا عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا شعياء عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إلياس عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا اليسع عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا ذو الكفل عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يوشع عليه السلام، وبالأسماء وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وعلى جميع النبيين والمرسلين أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد نبيك عدد ما خلقته من قبل أن تكون السماء مبنية والأرض مدحية والجبال مرسية والبحار مجرأة والعيون منفجرة والأنهار منهمرة والشمس مضحية والقمر مضيئا والكواكب مستنيرة. كنت حيث كنت لا يعلم أحد حيث كنت إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد حلمك، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد علمك، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كلماتك، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد نعمتك، وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء سماواتك، وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء أرضك، وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء عرشك، وصل على سيدنا محمد زينة عرشك، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما جرى به القلم في الكتاب، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت في 7 سماواتك، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما أنت خالق فيهن إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل قطرة قطرت من سماواتك إلى أرضك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد من يسبحك ويهللك ويكبرك ويعظمك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد
The belief in last days, the belief in Dajjal. Before we get to Mahdi alayhi salam, let's talk about Dajjal. Because Mahdi alayhi salam is not just going to come for vacation, just to appear just like that. He comes for a reason. And the reason is to fight Dajjal. Then Isa alayhi salam will come to kill Dajjal. Mahdi alayhi salam is not going to kill Dajjal. Isa alayhi salam is going to. So people don't believe in Mahdi alayhi salam, majority of the Muslims, because people don't believe in Dajjal. To believe in Dajjal, you have to believe in Akhir Zaman. You understand? What is Akhir Zaman? The end of times, the second Jahiliyyah. That when Dajjal is ruling, that is Akhir Zaman. People don't believe that Dajjal is ruling. They don't believe in Dajjal so much, and they don't believe that the Dajjalic system is ruling. For 1400 years, the Muslims, the believers, have always believed in this very strongly. Very strongly. Anytime it may happen, prepare yourself for that. Prepare for the world, prepare for your lives, but prepare that the call may come at any time. And this ilm, this knowledge of Akhir Zaman, this knowledge of the appearances of Mahdi alayhi salam, the knowledge of the appearances of Dajjal, this is a body of knowledge, it is a science that is passed down from one generation to the other to remind people. Why people don't believe? One of the big reasons is the knowledge stopped. When the Khilafat fell, understand, when the Khilafat fell, the whole Muslim Ummah thought that it was Judgment Day. They say this is Judgment Day because this is one of the big signs of Judgment Day, that the Khilafat is going to be removed. You understand? And the time of Jababira, the time of tyranny is going to come. So this is based on the hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. After me there will come the righteous ones, the righteous Khalifas. I'm making it simple for people to understand. Because these days people talk too much. Special words, special knowledge. No one is speaking simply and directly to the heart anymore. So, Prophet ﷺ is saying, after me there will come the Khulafa Rashidin. After that, there will come the Maliks, the kings. After the kings, the sultans will come. Maliks is different from sultans. The power of the sultan is much bigger. After the sultan, the appearances of Dajjal will come, the Jababira. That is the age of tyranny, the age of cruelty, where there's going to be bloodshed everywhere. We are in that age of Jababira, with the age of tyranny and cruelty. After that age, he's saying, then one of my grandsons will come, Mahdi alayhi salam. And that will also be the age of the Sultanate according to the Prophet's way. You understand? Which means that the Sultanate will come back. Now, which Sultanate? It is known for people with knowledge, or people with spiritual understanding, that it is the Ottoman Empire that is going to come back again. How? Ask Allah how. Allah can make one man to rule the whole world. Allah can make one mosquito to bring down the whole tyrants and their world. Allah can make one cane to bring down a Firaun. So, this is knowledge that is not passed, knowledge that is not preserved, knowledge that people stop believing in. In so many Muslim countries, this kind of knowledge, it is forbidden to speak. People who are talking about Mahdi alayhi salam and end of days and Akhir Zaman and Dajjal, they're forbidden. You will get arrested. You get punished. So that's why Muslims are not believing it so much. They listen to YouTube here and there, they listen to read, but it is not the same, because this knowledge is not given to everyone also. People are saying, you don't know the future. We don't know the future, but Allah has revealed to the prophets the future. Idiots. And the prophets, they are saying to the people what is necessary. What? They don't know the future? From Adam alayhi salam, he has told, these are the prophets that are going to come. From Adam alayhi salam, he has spoken about our holy prophet alayhi salam. He's saying, Allah is saying to his prophets, tell your people this also, that if my Habib comes, then the laws that I've put on you, that is finished also. Listen to him and listen to his words and his laws. 124 prophets, they spoke about the Holy Prophet ﷺ. They spoke about Akhir Zaman, they spoke about Dajjal, they spoke about Mahdi ﷺ too, yes. From the beginning, they were preparing for the end. This is the future, no? It is beyond the future. Don't we talk about Judgment Day all the time? Isn't that the future? Don't we talk about after Judgment Day? Isn't that the future? So, future doesn't mean everything. Certain things that you may say milestones. You know why they call milestones? In the old days, every 1 mile they put a stone there. No joke. So these are milestones. They say, like this may happen, like this may happen, like this may happen. So that knowledge was passed down and it was kept. And that kind of a knowledge everybody knew. The scholars they knew, and the saints they knew. And the scholars who are saints they also kept. And the saints who are not scholars, they have more. They have more. Because this kind of knowledge also, it cannot be written in books so much. It cannot be talked about so much, because people are going to, without vision, without the permission, they are just going to mix things up. They're just going to tell a whole bunch of weird things. 1400 years, they never talk about aliens. Suddenly everyone is talking about, so-called Sufi sheikhs talk about aliens. Saying Prophet went to Miraj, its meaning is, Burak is spaceship, traveling, seeing aliens. And I say, idiots, what can we do? So, if you look, that's why we have to know history. Khilafat, strongly tied to the ways of the Prophet ﷺ. After Khilafat, all the countries, Muslim countries, are under the boots, under the shoes, under the feet of the unbelievers. They could not get up. Traditions destroyed, religion destroyed, education system destroyed, beliefs destroyed. Everything is finished. Very bad, including this knowledge. Struggle, 50 years, 60 years, suddenly they came out. They say, now we are independent. You think they had time in those 60 years? They're saying, don't. Now we have taken out the supports of your religion, of your spirituality, of your culture, of your tradition. We remove all the support. Now you are helpless. For half a century you're going to be helpless. Then we're going to give you idea that you are independent, but for another half a century you're not independent. You're just struggling to get up. And when you get up, when Muslim countries get up from under the feet of the unbelievers, first thing they do is what? They fight with one another. They go to war with one another. They finish, again, generations of good people. Resources, everything they finish. These are also signs of Akhir Zaman. Signs that Mahdi alayhi salam will appear, because these are signs that Dajjal is ruling. When there's great wars that is happening. So these things, people are now only in the past, let's say 10, 20 years, with the karamat of our Grand Shaykh, with the karamat of our Shaykh also, especially in the Naqshbandi order that is talking about Akhir Zaman. Before that, nobody is even talking about it. Now they've taken it and they run in different directions. Different directions, not in the same direction, different directions now. You understand? Saying, oh, it's supposed to come 2000, it's supposed to come, what happened here, what happened there? So people are not understanding. They say, oh, it's going to be a long time. So let's enjoy. We are only beginning to, you see, before they take away our well, then they poison our well, then we got our well back, we're cleaning our well, now we're only drinking the water, and you're talking about end of days. Let us to enjoy drinking our water first. This is what the nations are saying. Let us enjoy having technology, having dunya. Don't talk about all these things. Whether you talk or you don't talk, the signs are appearing more and more. Nations are going to go to war more and more. Nations have been preparing to go to war. It is only the power of the awliya Allah that they stop this world from being destroyed. So many times, those crazy leaders, they already pressed the button. They pressed the button, but it didn't work. Because awliya Allah, they have put ones that are under their power sitting on that warhead for it not to happen. So, now they say, don't talk about that. Don't you know we're rebuilding from east to west, Muslim countries? We're rebuilding. We're getting more powerful. We're getting richer. We're starting to enjoy life. And now you're talking about Akhir Zaman. So people are not understanding. They're not being able to balance it. It's not the first time that the Muslim world reached to civilization. We reached to better civilization than this. And we still talk about Akhir Zaman. We still keep the zikr. We still keep the religion. We still kept everything, and we were rising. And people are afraid if you talk about that now, everything is going to fall. That means you have no belief, you have no understanding of history, you have no intelligence, you have no trust, and you have no connection to the awliya Allah. This is how it is. Yeah, so speak to majority of the Muslims in the countries that they're living in. If they're not under tyranny, then they're under a lot of hardship. We may say, Muslims in first world countries, in Europe, we may say, oh, it's not affecting us. It's burning everywhere else. It's burning. If anything, they are crying out for more. But the leaders are saying, don't do that. Because they're all playing games with one another. They are not under the bayat. They are not in the bayat of the Khalifa. They give bayat to other leaders. You understand? So, what is it for us here? We watch. We have to get ready. What does it mean that we have to stock up on food and do this? No, not really. In order to fight that last war, which is not going to be a war just with machineries and everything, no. Electricity is going to fall. That war with Dajjal is not going to be fought with electricity. Technology will fail. Everyone that is hoping for technology is going to fail. When Mahdi alayhi salam calls it takbir, the first takbir, electricity will fail. No, it's not about then let's build underground cities, let's build bunkers, no, everything is going to fail too. It's not about that. If you know how to be human and you know how to live like a human and you know how to share, then that time you will still be able to live comfortably. If you are not understanding how to be human, even if you have whole cities' food with you, you will also suffer and you cause other people to suffer because you'll start behaving like animals. You understand? Kafirs have prepared underground cities for 50 years, 70 years. They are more prepared for that doomsday thing than we are. It's not about that. Allah is not working like that. They are more prepared. If something happens, they are more prepared. Muslims are not prepared. But it's not something that is just physical that is going to happen. That is a time when everyone's spirituality is going to open. Whatever that you are preparing now, whatever nur that you are keeping and you are making and there's giving to you, then that nur, that light is going to show. Because the army of Mahdi alayhi salam will be filled with believers and the friends of Allah. That war is not going to be fought conventionally like this. Because who is believing in, if they say we believe in Khilafat, it's different. And we select one, it's different. But who is wanting that? They say unite, okay. I believe in unity. Unity in Islam and in the Ummah is unity behind a Khalifa. That is a Sunnah. Then make a Khalifa. They won't dare to. Then what unity? So, for us, fight against your nafs. Fight against our shaitans. More that you are fighting, the more light that you're receiving. And we will be ready when the time comes, that time. Inshallah. May Allah keep us in safety. Amin Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum. Evet. Any questions? Yes.
Thinking about this for a while, that like in different still trying to think how to put it properly, but like sheikhs, the tasawwuf sheikhs, or other ways, right? Like you have big masjids that get built, or in the West you have universities that they build a university, it continues for 500 years, 1,000 years. For Sufi sheikhs or awliya Allah, from whatever I can see, it's not that they concentrate on building, let's say like the Shah Naqshband didn't build a university or something like that. They build a tariqat and it's passed. And even the work that they do in their time, it doesn't stay in that form. It changes. The Jamaat changes, the people change. So what's the secret inside that it's kind of always transforming between generations?
I don't understand. What is the secret in that?
Like for example, from Grand Sheikh Abdullah to Sheikh Maulana, that they that Sheikh Maulana moved, so many of the people changed in terms of the Jamaat, and then it grew into something, it looks like it grew and it became into something else. And then between Sheikh Maulana to Sheikh Effendi, it's also, there. It's not static, it's always, before Grand Sheikh Abdullah, it was something different when it was in Dagestan.
I understand
So what's
all that.
what's
your
the
question?
why
the
do they make it
reason?
like that? Yeah, why do they make it like
Because
that?
things change. You cannot have something that is unchanging. An institution is unchanging. A religious institution is unchanging. Everything changes. And religion has to be alive, and spirituality has to be more than alive. Islam is a living religion, it's not dead, you understand? Which means that it has to move according to the times, it has to influence the time, and the time has to influence it. Not the asas, not the foundations, but how you move according to that. There are times when it has to be open and everywhere. There are times when it's not anywhere at all, it is underground. There are times when it's high, there are times when it's low. There are times when it's in the city, there are times when it's in the mountains. But everything is moving to that big event that is going to happen. Since the beginning, they were preparing for the end. What are believers preparing? Our end. All believers, all religions is preparing people for the end, is not preparing people for this dunya. It's preparing people for this grave and beyond. It is the end. So when we look at the events of this world, there is an end. And they were preparing for that. That was what Holy Prophet ﷺ, giving the secrets to the Sahabe Kiram, what to do from age to age until the end. That was what the Ahlul Bayt were trying to do when they walked past, when they were in Karbala, to walk past that, to prepare themselves for the end. And there are things of the end that people should not know, because this is the war that is going to be between Haq and Batil, the biggest war the world has ever seen. So why should that information and knowledge that what the good is going to do, what Haq is going to do, why should Haq be publicizing it everywhere? Why should they be setting up websites or Facebook pages to talk about what they're going to do? Huh? Your own company boss is not going to tell you what his plans are. Your president is not going to tell you. Nobody. Why you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to, although there are hadiths and riwayats and everything, that people are taking this and thinking it is all that there is. It is no, it is more than that. And Allah is also master of, let's say, misdirection. For who? Not misdirection for the believers. For the unbelievers, He will misdirect. Yes? But for the believers, they know, huh?
Plan, strategy.
Right. So, it is according to the divine order. It is according to the orders of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, how to move. So it has to change. If it doesn't change, then that means it's dead. So the form has to change a little bit, the people have to change a little bit, everything has to change according to what is needed. Then you must know what is needed. That must be taught. If you're not taught what is needed, if we're not here, we're not taught what is going on, we'll live our lives just like grass do. No real objective. Our objective is just going to be the objective of our family, our society, everyone around us. Just what? Oh, now is the time you should get married, get a better job, go to masjid once in a while, have children, be better, and that's it. As a believer, this is it. Kafirs can live like that, not us. Because believers live for the sake of Allah. What does that mean? Allah has plans for the believers. Allah has plans for this world. Allah is the best of planners. So if you're a believer and you don't know those plans, you don't know what you're supposed to do, And our Prophet has said that 1400 years ago, what is going to happen, how you're supposed to behave. And the saints and the scholars, they've already said that also. If you're not holding on to all of that, then you're just going to live like grass and die like grass. Your life is going to become very, very small. And all saints, they have said, live up to your legend. All saints are saying, you are not understanding how huge you are, how special you are, how valuable you are, how important you are in this world. Don't be idiot, wake up. Yes? So, if it doesn't change, it does not have life. When you start, that's why I said, I don't really like organizing so much like that. Because when religions start organizing like that, that means they're losing it. It has to be so alive that every time you want to capture, you cannot. You move this way, this way, this way, this way. And it has to be more. This is what we're feeling with our Jamaat. There's more. There's infinitely more. There's more. We're not just happy to be here just to, eat and drink, make zikr, and then prepare for Jannat. No. Are people going to understand this? Not too much. We leave them. It's okay. But those whose hearts are a little bit open and they're looking, and you know what? A lot of unbelievers will agree with us. They say this world is messed up. This world is severely messed up. Something has to happen. Yes? Unbelievers believe this. People even call themselves atheists. They say this is very bad. And Allah is putting so much pressure on the Muslims to push them to think this way too. This is not the best of our times. But Muslims are drugged, and the leaders drug them and are drugged too. And they say no, don't call for any change. We just have to stick with the program and do better, and get better education, get more technology, make more money, run for this dunya, and then we'll be good. Then that time Allah will be proud of us because we'll be able to achieve things. Huh?
That's what I'm thinking about the question that Ashura said.
Yes.
They really tell their people that, yeah, this is the army of Islam, this is the army of the Prophet, but they don't do anything for they don't. These armies are just sitting, they're not doing anything for Muslims or for Islam. But the people are totally brainwashed in the countries to believe that.
The sincere ones will understand, from the head or from the feet. They will wake up and they will understand. One day they will. And there's a different plan for them too. Shaykh Afendi had said this 20 years ago. He says the world will start dividing. And he has said in this country too there is a division. He says even in the Pentagon or whatever, in the White House, he says it's going to be a clear division. And aren't we living these days when it is clear? It is clear. What is right and wrong. But the people who are doing it, they may not be 100% right. The people who are doing the wrong, they may not be 100% wrong, but we know what is right and wrong. At least it is clear. You understand? We're not saying one political party is pure, the other one is completely black. No, all of them, they are pretty terrible. But one is standing up for a little bit more better than the other one. Look through the eyes of Allah and His Prophet ﷺ. Because they will trick you and they will trick you and they will trick you. And this is between two shar, two evils. And the Prophet says, choose the lesser evil. We have to choose the lesser evil. But at the same time, don't try to move forward. Don't try, Shaykh Maulana Shaykh Afendi says, don't try to be official. Don't try to be in this system, try to work the system, go up. Especially if it's not for you, you're not given the authority or the permission to do that, because you will drown in that. And so many Muslim leaders right now, they're drowning in that. Because what is happening in Palestine, the rest of the world, they're drowning in that. What are you going to do now? Why are you so silent? You are silent because you're buddies. You're buddies with those ones that are cutting our people up and spilling their blood. You're buddies with them because they're the ones who boosted you up for you to sit on those chairs. And now you cannot say anything. So that's a big test. We should not be. This is the time of separation. That's why we're here. Yeah. This is the time of hijrah. That's why we are here. This is not the time of fath, where you are going to open, you're going to conquer, and everything is going to be together. No, this is a time of separation. With that victory, with that opening, with that fath, it is only with Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam that is going to come. You can try to do it, you'll fail. Because there's so many games that people are playing. That's not the advice that the Prophet gave to us. It's not for us. Maybe you have some power somewhere, maybe you have some responsibility here and there, then that's a different directive that is for you, different order that is for you. But for the awam generally, for them, no, it's not. Yeah. Allah keep us safe. Avieros, drink your tea. Anything else? Any other questions? People are going to get very jealous. They're going to put more bad eyes on me. It's okay. I have to start getting stronger too. Say.
Jim, last night when you were giving Sabbath,
Yes.
you told us a few things about deen and nasiha.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things you mentioned is that when someone is not in association or they're not joining
Mm-hmm.
an association, you said that in that time they only have religion.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that you used religion and you didn't say that time they only have deen. Is there a difference between...
Yes. Deen, it's usually translated as religion, but Shaykh Effendi is opening up more than that. It says deen means lifestyle. You understand? What we understand from religion now is that there's a separation between religion and lifestyle. Religion, let's say you pray 5 times a day, yes, you fast, you do all this, that's religion. You understand? You believe it. But lifestyle is to live your life according to the way that the Prophet lived his life, as much as you can, and following a shaykh, you understand? Living your lifestyle according to how the Prophet ﷺ has directed you to live, not just the do's and the don'ts. So we're looking at sunnat, and the sunnat of the awliya Allah. There are millions of Muslims who just say shahadat, they pray, they fast, maybe they give zakat, they go to Hajj. But you see their lifestyle is not Islamic. The way they think, the way they feel, the way they talk, what's important for them, what is not, what is in their hearts, is not according to the Sunnah. You understand? And so many times, what they're running after, what is most important in their lives, you cannot tell the difference between a believer and unbeliever. Same thing they want. Same thing. I just want the best for my family, best of eating and drinking, best of this life. Yes? And their practices in religion is just incidental, to the side. There's no lifestyle to that. They don't sit different. They don't talk different. They don't feel different. They don't look at things different. They look at things the way that the majority are looking at things. That's why we love this way, because we're in Shaykh and his presence, and we're seeing things, how he's seeing it, and we're saying this is great, this is amazing, this is completely different. And if you have that, you have more safety. It doesn't mean that we are not going to have some technology. It doesn't mean that we're not going to partake in this life a little bit here and there. But this is not our reason. This is not our passion. You understand? It's not. It's not our passion. We're not going to look at anything the way that the dunya is wanting us to look at. Now we're going to look at things the way that our Shaykh and the friends of Allah, they are looking. Yes? Even like simple things, from the simplest things to like, say, maybe stirring your tea. People drink chai here, for example. They put milk. But we know preferred is Shaykh, and they would drink tea without that. And then there is a reason for that. He says, you're drinking tea with milk, you follow the British. So there's a whole big thing there with the British, you understand? And the practices that we take. So he's not saying it is haram. Otherwise, all the Pakistani uncles are going to run away from here. But he's making us to think a little bit. It doesn't mean, he's not saying drinking like this is the best, but he's making us to think. This is what spirituality, lifestyle makes us do. It makes us to think. Religion, like that, just the do's and the don'ts, doesn't make us to question so much. It just makes us to follow. You don't question. Spirituality says why. You want to pray, why you want to pray? You're doing this, yes, it's good, why you want to do it? Does it change? What is it today? How is it going to be tomorrow? So you're stirring. Even when you're stirring, you don't stir clockwise, for example. You stir counterclockwise. Why is that? Because that's not only the way that the people are circling around the Kaaba. There's a way that this whole universe is circling around. Not like this, but this other way. From the simplest things to the biggest things. Let's say the events of the last days now, with Mahdi alayhi salam and Dajjal. They're going to look through their eyes now, not through Google eyes, not through YouTube eyes, not through some crooked scholar eyes. You understand? We're taking it directly from Sahib al-Sayf and Sultan al-Awliya. And we don't care if people don't believe. We don't care if people say you are wrong. We don't care for that. We lived our lives caring for a long time, and it got us nowhere. And now we're saying, why we have to care for people who don't care about me? Let's start caring for the people who care about us, Allah and His Prophet and His friends. When we care for them and they care for us, you see something beautiful that happens. So this is step by step too. Like I said, don't rush. If this is all by permission also, don't rush. Even if you feel that you want to do it, if I say to you, it's not time yet, don't. For you, for your family, for other people, don't. Everyone is according to their limit and according to what they can take. If you take more than that without permission, it is done with ego also, and you will fail. You understand? So a lifestyle now. So you're going to look. You're going to look at something on television or something that with those eyes too, not just to be drugged and say ha ha ha ha, laughing or crying. So you're going to start seeing it through the eyes of your Shaykh, and you're going to be, so many things are going to happen. So many knowledges are going to come to you. Then your heart starts opening. So this is deen. With the lifestyle, and your heart will start opening. With religion, when you don't have that lifestyle, then it's just a bunch of ritual, empty, that you are doing. That time you have no pleasure coming to the jami. You go in like a thief, you go out like a thief, quickly giving salams and going. There's no pleasure in your namaz. There's no pleasure in knowing your Lord, because you're so busy knowing each other or wanting to get more of this dunya. And this dunya and the enjoyment of this dunya is according to the society that you live in too, and the country that you live in. We're traveling here and there, and I'm starting to see what occupies the people, the minds of the people here. What occupies the minds of the people is completely different. But hold on to your shaykh, inshallah. That time you can travel everywhere. But it's not going to be empty. New knowledges will open to you. You understand more. This is what we want. Then it's not dead. You understand? So, inshallah Rahman, this much is enough. Wa min Allahu tawfiq, Hurmatul Habib, Hurmatul Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum. Okay.
إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد السحاب الجارية، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد الرياح الذارية، من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما هبت عليه الرياح وحركته من الأغصان والأشجار والأوراق والثمار، وجميع ما خلقت على أرضك وما بين سماواتك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد نجوم السماء من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا